What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Trout Wrangler Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Garrity. That guy right there, that's our show's vibes curator, Mr. Maverick Finn. A lot of words from the boy there. We got a cool episode coming today from a different country. We got Diego from Patagonia to come on and talk about guiding and what he's getting into. He's got a really cool story coming. He's cooking up some awesome stuff coming up here soon. Just a wealth of knowledge. Super cool dude. Before we get into that, I want to thank our show's partners, Cordina Eyewear. If you want to get free shipping on a badass pair of shades, some awesome hats, stickers, whatever it might be, use code RISE_flies CLT at checkout. Trout routes. Use the link in the show notes. Sign up. Get you a month free of trout routes. Yeti coolers. Awesome coolers. I have two myself. Love them. And now for Diego from Patagonia.
Say like, hey!
What's up, guys? Like I said in the intro, we do have an interview from across the different country. I'm gonna kick it over to let you introduce yourself, Diego.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I am Diego Salas from Chilean Patagonia, particularly from the Aysén region. Fly fishing guide for several years and developing some new, really cool things that we're expecting to have the time to talk about in this season.
Yeah, man. I completely failed to mention my dog's back there. He will
That's
bounce
amazing.
in and out of here. He's just part of it. So
It makes it much better.
yeah.
I
But
love
dude,
it.
he might look like he's staring through your soul at some point. All right, he just got down. But
Well, there is a small people around here that also may show up and jump around here. So
oh, dude, all good. No worries, man. Dude, so let's go over a little bit about what you're doing out there, how you guys started, and we'll just kick it off, man.
cheers to start.
Yeah, man. I got a Gatorade. Too early for me to start drinking beer on a Tuesday.
No, it's very warm here in Brazil, man. So I have to have some refreshing. I'm from a very cold place, so this is very different. Now it's below zero where I live.
Oh my gosh.
So I am part of a second generation this time of fly fishing guides. My father started an operation about 40 years ago. They were a few of the first guides that started in the fly fishing world, kind of. It was something very funny at the same time. So this all started with some guides from Alaska that flew a small plane all the way from Alaska to Patagonia, and they wanted to kind of replicate what they were doing in Alaska many years ago. And they looked for someone who could speak English and translate for them, and then try to teach them how to fly fish. And then he could be the manager, host, and many other things. And
Okay.
one of the few guys that did speak English at that time was my father. So he took the job. He was very young. And they tried for 2 seasons to make that. The name of that company was Patagonia Connection. And that was
Okay.
at the beginning of the 80s, which in Chile at that time, nothing was happening um, on the fly fishing industry yet. It become much more popular until now. It is, well, one of the places that it's well renowned. So then they had, well, Patagonia was still in the same place, but it was much harder to get there because there was no roads. The airplanes and combinations were very different. They didn't have the technology or instruments that you have nowadays. So they spend most of the time playing poker at the lodge instead of going out and actually fishing. So that became a difficulty for them. They tried for a few seasons and then they flew back up to the to their country. But my father, by that time, he kind of understood the fishing and realized that the fishing was amazing over there. So with him and a Uruguayan guy that was a really good fly fisherman that was called Alex Pryor, and then an Englishman that was called Mark Surtees, who had connections with the British market. They started this operation and slowly start bringing clients between the three of them plus other friends. They all became just one guide because one had the knowledge, the other one could fish, the other one spoke English. So they kind of develop and slowly start learning more and more. And then they converted our family ranch into a lodge that hold a river, uh, and then from there starting growing a small business. And so I was born kind of in that situation, which made my um, how do you say I was very curious on developing and see what was going on. People was coming from all over the world to our house and then go fishing. So, and then I was very, very messy as I was growing up.
Yeah.
So my mother didn't want me at the house, so they kicked me out and just go fishing with your dad. So I started shadowing him, and then the other guides that were um, helping or guiding with us, and start guiding when I was about 14 years old, and then
Wow.
16, 18. By the time I could drive, then I got my own clients, and then drift boats were coming in and was a little bit more. We were the first guys to brought a drift boat, hide from Idaho.
Okay.
In those days, it was impressive. Have a fiberglass boat in this place. Everybody look at us like we were crazy. Nowadays, you find them everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, people use way many more rafts for these
Yeah.
type of situations than than the drift boats now because they need more maintenance. But that's kind of how we started it, and then from there, I just realized that a lot of people were coming, especially the clients with magazines. In those days, we didn't have any communication or internet and all those things, so
Yeah.
I opened the Fly Fisherman. I was looking like, wow, Montana, Idaho, New Zealand, Alaska, Kamchatka, and all those cool places. And I was like, well, I need to find a way to be able to go fish those areas. So I did it through guiding. So I start
Dude,
guiding
that's
and then get
awesome.
a jig over here, get a job over there. I go here and I start moving, and that's kind of the way it went.
That's pretty cool, dude. So when you first brought a drift boat to Patagonia, what were people saying? Like, were they just like, dude, like, what the fuck is this thing?
so, so yeah, well, exactly. We have a great friend of my father. Well, it's a family friend in this moment who came in and he fell in love kind of with our energy and the whole family business because my mother was in the kitchen. My brother started guiding with us too. So it was three brothers guiding. My father was guiding. My mother was in the kitchen and host. And all this was very authentic. And the family, like we were inviting people to our house. So it was very cool for them. Very different to regular conventional U.S. lodges that are a little bit more
Yeah.
structured and fancy, and those matters. And well, the fishing has always been great, so that was something that made our job quite easy on that matter. So this guy from Wyoming, Mr. Steve Bird, he proposed to my father to make a partnership and then start working together. He would bring more clients, and then we develop a better lodge with more capacity and better service. And we get trained a little bit more on how to treat clientele the right way, um,
Yeah.
which sometimes kids.
Oh
It
yeah.
was I just wanted to finish it. So that's how we got into. He offered us to teach us how to row, and because before that we were all, just waiting.
Yeah.
Um, but going to the evening hatch in a big river where you see the fish rising in the other. Of course, you want to catch the fish on the other side. Was impossible, and then longer drift. So he brought that boat, also a pair of catarafts. Those were the ones that we used when we were learning because we can crash
Yeah.
them against anything, and
Yeah,
was
you can bust them up and
yeah
it's not
much
too bad.
safer, much safer than the drift
Yeah.
boat. That if you hit it with a rock in the wrong way, you can flip and break the boat, and it's quite more expensive too. So we didn't get to use the drift until we were way more experienced. Um, but yeah, like people was looking at us like, what is this?" Because there was only one guy that used to row. He brought a raft uh, to Patagonia, and this guy was Monty Baker from. He used to be a guide in Colorado,
Yeah.
and he brought the just raft, flats. So the drift boat was very different proposal, and then cataract was also different. But it made our job much easier, and then we learned how to do it better. And of course, with people that has less mobility, or uh, they can't just go and wet wade in boulders or harder places, is
Yeah.
so much better for them. And well, nowadays everybody, like, it's a must. If you want to be a fishing guide, you need to have your own boat. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
it's the way it goes now. But
Yeah.
it was really cool to go through that process before going into the major leagues of guidance.
Yeah, dude, like that's pretty cool how you guys kind of just like you said, you know what? Here it is. This is the guide. This is the drift boat, and we're bringing it to Patagonia. That's
Yeah,
pretty sick, dude.
yeah,
You guys are like the pioneers of the drift boat in Patagonia.
yeah. I mean, now I would say that at least in the area that we live now, it probably may be the only old school drift boat that it's around. Like nowadays, the old guys have those rough boat from NRS, that kind of
Yeah.
imitates the drift boat, but
Yeah.
it's not. And then, well, I end up with some partners that they make H HDPE, this hard plastic that they use
Yeah.
for- So we designed a boat that is made out of that, and we
That's pretty
used that
sick.
drift boat as an inspiration. And so we created a boat that is a drift boat, but made in Patagonia, and is from this type of plastic that is really really hard, so it lasts forever. It doesn't need maintenance as
Yeah.
uh, a fiberglass boat would need, because this is just plastic. So I got like the test drive of it because it's the prototype that we made last year. So I get to crash it against everything.
Yeah.
I throw it from the pickup. I'm just trying to break it. So
Yeah. Has it held up pretty well?
so far, man, it's amazing. It's maybe a little bit heavier to move the boat because it's thicker,
Yeah.
but it has a UV filter, so it lasts forever. It's a little scratch in the bottom, and then you just sand it a little bit, and
Yeah.
good
It is.
stuff. And it's
Yeah.
unbreakable. The flotation is better because it's plastic, so it moves better in the water once you're in.
Yeah.
So
More
it's really
buoyant.
cool. We have to be. I made some design changes because the original heights are very high in the top, in front,
Yeah.
and that with the Patagonian wind, not so good because you're fighting the wind all the time. So I make it much lower in the front. It's kind of flat, um, which makes it much more maneuverable.
Yeah, it's
And
a little more
we also
aerodynamic.
make it a little bit flatter on the back, so you can put a motor without having to do many different things, and
Yeah.
a few other smaller things. It's much more simple. It doesn't have that many things all around. Just a place to put your rods on the side, and I'm sitting in the cooler. Also, the cooler has a seat I send it. We send it. It's the imitation of a Yeti cooler, but it's a Chilean brand. So we send
Yeah.
to the factory and we send with the seats. And so they bolt the seats into the cooler. So then you're sitting in the cooler, but you're in an actual regular conventional boat seat. But then when you stop for lunch, you take the coolers and they are the seats where you have the
Oh,
lunch.
dude, that's awesome. That's brilliant, man.
Oh man, I felt very cool when it happened. I'll show you some pictures later or so, but yeah, it's something that we're working on. And the other cool thing is that the cost is half the
Yeah,
price
and
of a
fiberglass.
regular drift boat because it's cheaper. So instead of paying $15,000, you're paying $6,000. It's made in Patagonia, so I don't have to pay the shipping from the United States all the way to
Yeah,
here. And we got them right there. If I need to fix anything, I just take it to the guys, and they do an amazing job for me. They're called
dude, that's
Bison
great.
boats, in case. Um, and yeah, well, we moved from the fishing to the boats. I don't know why, but
Oh, dude, no, that was sick. I was just curious about that. But so now you guys have the fishing side. Now, do you guys get more wading trips or more drift boat trips down there now, you think?
oof. So what I do, we have a variety of water where we live that you can fish everything. So
Yeah.
what decides what we do normally is a combination of weather conditions, of course. Climate always defines where we can go or not. So then my recommendation goes to the clients that are coming. Then the preference of the clients that which they may like a certain type of water body better, like small creeks, spring creeks, lagoons, rivers, big rivers, huge rivers. So depending on what they like to fish, that's where we try to look for the best options based on their preferences, but also on their skills. So if
Right.
they want to fish something and then I say it's not appropriate for you, I try to recommend the best options based on the combination of all those things to try to get the most fish and the best time, of course.
Right, dude. It's like you're not gonna take a brand new angler and put him in a stream this wide.
Yeah. Normally, what I try to do with people that it's well, we don't get a lot of first timers actually. Normally, it's people
Yeah.
that they really want to catch bigger fish and more fish. And what we offer usually is to go beyond the regular fishing spots that the lodges around the area will go, and
Yeah.
that are the places that kind of people already know about. And what we do is we use horses and tents and different ways of transportation and to go a little further than everybody else. And that usually comes with better fishing because
Right.
less.
Right, yeah, so you guys probably see dude, 'cause see, like, I was thinking that as soon as I asked that question. I was like, "Oh, man." I was like, "Usually, a beginner's not gonna travel to Patagonia to go and, to
They
go
do.
fly fishing." Do
I
they?
mean, they do, but I would say it's probably the 20%. Like nowadays, a lot of people, there's a bigger market for people that is coming for the experience more than the super hardcore fly fishermen. So 20 years ago,
Right.
you would get guys that were like really really good fishermen and they wanted to come to Patagonia. But in those days, fishing was different. Nowadays, uh, there's many more different services for for
Yeah.
people. You know, like you have many options. So there's a lot of people that they just come for the experience. It's a family group, and maybe two of them fish, and then the rest can go horse riding or trekking or visiting some parks, and they try fishing, and then if they love it then
Oh,
they keep doing it the rest of the
I think
day.
we
But if
lost
they
connection with my
do it
boy.
once day, then the other day they
Oh,
go do
no.
something else. There's many other activities that you can do beside just the fishing.
How was it kinda growing up where, you had, people using your house as a lodge where you're like, "Well, shit, I could, like I got some other dudes playing with my toy trucks or something like that.
Well, it actually it was kind of that way, but when I was very young. But then it I always saw it as a great opportunity.
Yeah.
So, well, for me, having people from all over the world just coming to the house, based on where I lived, which we didn't have any contact with anyone. We live in one of this less populated area of the whole continent, and then from the country, it's the second largest region, and is the least populated area too. So I grew up in a town that was the whole region at that time was less than 100,000 people, and it's 1,000 kilometers long. So, well, that's why the fishing was so good, and that region holds about the 30% of the fresh water of the world. Um, so I never see anyone besides my classmates every now and then. But then every time I had the chance, especially when I was growing up, it was the perfect excuse not to go to school,
Yeah.
not to do all the regular things that everybody had to do. I get to go with these cool dudes that come from all over. They were doing and what I love too, so they take me fishing. Every time I take them fishing, we come back with a great story. And then as a kid, like I was the end of the day and I got new hat, new shirts, from the guys.
Yeah, you're getting
So
dripped out.
so many flies, and all those
Yeah.
things that there's no way that we could find any. There's still no fly shops. Not, well, there's some, but not good fly shops where we live. And everything is imported from the States.
Yeah. Damn,
So
dude.
at that time, being the guy that, like, I remember when I got my first Sims waders, man, it was like I moved from rubber, like that I looked like a frog because they were too big for me. They were like this big, old school rubber, like this thick, with the boots attached to it.
Yeah,
So I
sweating your
was,
ass off in them things.
oh man, so bad. It's a good thing that I lived in a cold area, so it
Yeah.
wasn't that bad. But it was from that to my first Sims. There was just the regular conventional Sims that were just straight, no
Yeah.
design, just a little thing that said Sims in here, but they were breathable. So I was the
Yeah.
first from all my friends that did fish at the time, and some of the other was like I felt so badass for a while. Um, and those kind of experiences made it kind of cool. I was actually expecting the beginning of the season, and then I didn't want it to end because I was having fun and doing what I loved, and again, it was my way to accomplish so many other goals in my life. So I will be always extremely grateful for how lucky and fortunate I was to be born in this situation.
Yeah, dude. So that, see, I never thought of it like that, dude. Where it was like, yeah, you guys did have like a ton of cool people coming in, dude. Like, did you guys ever have like the big legends of the game, like a Flip Pallet coming in, or like a Chico Fernandez kind of thing?
Whoa, well, yeah. I mean, when I was super young, we got John Denver,
Yeah.
um, Robert Rubin.
Yeah, dude. I
Uh,
remember watching the John Denver fishing Patagonia video. It's still on YouTube, dude.
well, we did, and we also had Robert Rubin. I think he was the secret. I guess you have to do some editing in the future, my friend.
No, it'll be all right. It's worth it, dude. See, I've already marked where it cut out, so
Oh, nice.
I'll
Uh,
yeah, I'll
at
just
least at least you get to do that. I'm sorry. I guess the connection is
dude,
just not very good over here. And
you're all good, dude.
the third one is a chum. They say, huh?
Oh yeah. We'll get it. But
Well, what do you like?
yeah, dude, no worries at all. This is just awesome conversation either way.
But
But
I got some time, so we're good. No
all
problem.
right. Yeah, so you're saying you had John Denver in and you had a couple other dudes that you guys had
Oh
while
yeah. So we were like in John Denver, which, by the way, on that time I was like super young, so nothing, no credits on me on that. Just lucky to be with them. and then Robert Rubin, who was the Secretary of the Treasury of the United States at that
Yeah.
time. Um, so I got um, some dollars with his signature.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick.
That I kept like for a kid from Patagonia, having the U.S. currency was very important in those days. So so
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. But for me, more than those kind of guys, which are it's just a cool, of course, great stories and all that stuff. For me, the ones that I really valued was the the guys that were great fishermen.
Right.
So when I was that age, I get to go with guys that every single client would be able to teach me something new. Like,
Right.
hey, we got this new fly, and this is coming. It was the beginning of it, like, so it was really cool. Or I could sit with them, and then we take flies, and there's something different. Okay, so I do this with the hackle instead of this, and
Yeah.
those kind of things. I think I value the most if I look back. And also, what I did from very young is that I always asked them because we were in very different stages. I was beginning to do whatever, and they were all people that usually were a little bit older in the stage of their life that they have the money and the time so they can travel the world and go fishing
Yeah.
where they can for a long period of time.
Must be
Uh,
nice.
they were very experienced, so I asked them questions like, "What would you done differently?" and like, give me a life advice that you think it can be meaningful for the 16, 18-year-old kid. That I'm, and some of them will very structured and say like, well, you got to do this and then do that and then go to college and then invest your money in this and then you will have this, da, 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 da. So then you will be able to come and fish here. And I was like, I'm already doing that, man.
Yeah, right? It's like, what the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about? I'm doing this every day.
yeah, like, well, there's different ways to see it. But what I did got from them a lot was what they would have done differently and their regrets when they were like at the very end of their life. So I think I started the opposite way and start doing all the things that they would regret not to do.
Yeah.
So I did follow my dreams. I went to travel a lot to the fishing spots that I thought that I needed to know. Now that I'm still young and I can move and I have the energy and not many responsibilities. So I think I did the right thing and made me go and I'm very happy and fortunate to have done all those things.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even think of it that way, dude, where it's like you have so many people that are coming through the doors of your lodge that you can bounce ideas off of. You can ask them for advice and stuff like that, dude. That's awesome. It's such a
Yeah.
like a young age. It's got to be super cool. It's like a wealth of knowledge right in front of you every time you're guiding
Yeah.
somebody.
My father always told me that also, like, this is the way I can show you the world without you guys having to move that much because you get people from all over and they talk about in the same, well, in our table with different realities and different cultures. And so we get to share all those things with them as a very young age. And it made us, I think, value many other things that usual people sometimes they just don't.
Right. That's awesome, dude. Now let's get kind of like what you guys are doing now, where like the
Let's
projects you're
let's
working
move
on
on to the
currently.
important part. Let's go to the fishing part. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. What so now what are you guys currently working on where I know still guiding, you're fishing, you're kind of like exploring other spots now. You're in Brazil right now, so kind of what brought you to Brazil?
So, well, when I was 22, I'm 39 now. When I was 22, I start developing uh like different options too, and hello. And I was working in another lodge in the area that is called the Grasshopper Lodge.
Okay.
Um, that is very well known. And that lodge is operated as a signature lodge for the Fly Shop from Redding, California.
Yeah.
And those guys, um, they came. The directors are always moving around and going visiting different destinations. So they came and I guided Mike Michalak, which was the owner,
Yeah.
and then he offered me after the end of the week, like, "Hey, would you like to work for me?" And I was like, "Not really." And thank you. And then and I didn't know at that time how important that was, though. But then later, some of the other guys came and they say, like, "Hey, man, I don't know if you heard about Kamchatka." And I was like, "Kamchatka? Not really." It's like, "Hey, check some videos and we'll talk later." So I did. And then I saw these giant rainbows eating mice patterns.
Oh
And I
man.
was like, what the fuck is this, man? And it's like, I can really go work there. And then I saw these old school, like 1900 helicopters flying with 20 people inside and all the gear and all that stuff. And it's like, I need to do this. So I did. And then that opened up my fishing world. The fishing world or industry is not that big, so then once you're in it, then you start getting to know a lot of cool people, and then many opportunities came. So I started moving around very young, and that gave me a different perspective. And nowadays, I'm doing. Well, I studied ecotourism, and I did a degree on developing projects in remote places,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm doing here. I'm doing a consulting here in Brazil. This is a coffee farm from 1800, and they want to develop some tourism services with horses and some other cool things. The name is Fazenda Ambiental Fortaleza,
Oh, that's cool.
and it's an amazing place. I really thought about staying here longer because this is a really, really cool spot, and the people is very nice, and they have a an amazing product. So sadly, I have to go back to not really sadly, but I have to go back to start my season in Patagonia.
I got you, dude. So
Yeah.
now, did you bring like an 8 weight with you out there to Brazil? You chasing some of those peacock bass in your
Oh
free
well, I
time a little bit?
did. There's not so many in this area. I did, brother. A 7 weight.
Yeah.
And I caught some triadas, which is like the native fish of the area, and it was pretty cool. Nothing
Hell yeah.
crazy. I've done a little bit of jungle fishing in other places with other guys. Fish Colombia, I think, is the best one.
Yeah.
You guys can check it out. It's Beto Mejias. He has some really cool destinations for peacock bass and vampire fish and all other with such an amazing destination. I recommend that because it's cheap and it's really good.
Yeah.
And well, and now what we're doing in Patagonia, well, my family lodge still works, and then and they are gonna continue working. I moved to the side a little bit and have my own guides program with freelance guides that they have daily services around Coyhaique area, and then we have another programs that do the Austral Highway, which is very well known about. It's a beautiful scenic highway. It is very popular. So we do the whole highway, but we fish it in different
Dude, that's
spots
cool as
every day.
hell.
It's really cool. We stay in different cabins, and there's a variety of options for different budgets, which is always good.
That's awesome.
But what the cherry of the pie for me right now, or what I'm developing, is that we adapt Chiloé Island. Sorry, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. But
Yeah.
Chiloé Island is the largest island from an archipelago. How do you say, like, when there's a set of many islands together?
Oh, a chain of islands.
Yeah, well, let's call it that way. So
Yeah,
this
we'll
is
call
the
it that.
biggest island and has a lot of history, and all that area was colonized by boat. So they have a certain design of wooden made boats from what they call uh, they're carpenters, but of boats. So what we did is we adapt these a bigger yacht into a floating lodge to
Oh, that's
do
cool.
scouting in the fjords of the Patagonia area where I live. We started doing this 2 years ago. So we've been scouting different rivers that flows into the ocean for the past 2 years. And now we found an amazing place. It's a ranch of 6,000 hectares with 7 miles of river that is fishable so far. And from there up, there's many more, but we're still opening trails to go fish because it's all the green forest that is very close. So we haven't fished that part yet.
Yeah.
And we found resident browns that are very big,
Oh.
resident rainbows, and a really, really big run of king salmons
Oh.
that are coming up this river. We are the only ones who have access to this river because it has no road access.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
very blessed. I found, and I have to thank Robin Westcott, who is the owner of this place, to trust me, and he gave me full confidence to be operating his place, and we're developing um, many different projects in that farm, some with cattle, some with managing the area. Of course, the one that gives me more fun is the fishing.
Yeah.
And the last 2 years, as I said, we've been scouting this river in different stages. So I think we kind of figure out this is the first season that we open it, the market to it. We already have several bookings, so we're very happy. The program consists of spending a week in this mothership that will move you around these different tributaries of this river or this river, the main river, and some others that are in the same bay uh, that you can go fish. And for that, we got drift boats, of course, the ones that we talk about already. That this we designed. Uh, we got Zodiac for the base, so in the case that we need to fish that part, and for the tributaries and the upper part we take horses and a pack horse with the NRS rafts
Yeah.
uh, in the back. So we go by horse. We put the raft together and then send someone with the horses back to the mothership or the cabins, and we float all the way down until the end of the day, where we get to these mothership that people is waiting with great food. We got
Cold beers.
cattle there, sheep, and many other activities for non-fishermen that want to do ranch life or horse ride, bird watching, trekking. We can navigate on this mothership to Laguna San Rafael, which is one of the UNESCO reserves that it's confirmed is a huge ice field that you can get all the way there because we got the mothership right there. At the
That's
same
cool,
spot, you
dude.
got a big river that floats in that is called Exploradores that also had a very big salmon run. And it's the only place that I have found in the years that I fished all those areas that it has a very consistent and predictable salmon run in a smaller river that gives you the chance to catch them on flies. Where with
Yeah.
conventional, it's a little bit easier in there and other places, but we always try to target them with flies, and we did. So I'm crazy enthusiastic about what this season has to show, and I think we're gonna really kill it.
Dude,
So
that sounds it, man. I
crossing
mean,
fingers.
dude, it sounds like you're sitting on a gold mine, man. I mean, you got king salmon, you got big rainbows and big browns. What else do you need, dude? And the rest of it sounds awesome too, dude.
We got sea
Dude, that
runs
gets me
too.
fired up thinking about that.
We get sea runs too, not in big numbers, but last year we caught several serum browns in the end of the season. We don't know if we got some steel hits that may come in at the beginning. It's something that
Damn,
we
dude.
don't know yet, but we will know this season. And the whole river, like we only have fished 6 to 7 miles, but the river up has about 10 more miles that nobody has fished. um, and we are the only ones to fish it. So the pressure is zero. I mean, we are the
Yeah.
only ones. This season, I'm planning on managing small groups just because we want to see how the river behaves,
Yeah.
and we don't want to kill it the first season. So from 4 to 8 guests is the largest groups that we are gonna have this season, and then again we have other rivers to explore that have never been fished. So yeah, I mean, I everyone is
Dude,
invited to come and
that is so
check it.
cool, dude. That is
Um,
so cool.
I feel like I'm talking too much about it, but I'm
No,
super
dude,
enthusiastic. You
not
know,
at
I
all.
think it,
Dude, if you guys have steelhead up there, that is like fly fishing Disneyland, dude.
it's already, it's
Yeah.
already. I
Oh,
mean,
dude, with all the if you said yeah,
yeah,
you said rainbows, big browns, dude. My thing, there is nothing better than just giant, violent brown trout, dude.
yeah.
Nothing.
Like in my favorite trout is the brown trouts.
Yeah.
They are. I don't know if they're smarter, but they are more opportunistic and they eat less often than the rainbows. So you got
Yeah.
less chances during a day. Um, for people that like more dry flies and small dries and rising fish all the time. There's several rivers that are from the airport to where the mothership is parked in that deck. The mothership is parked in a river that's called Rio Los Palos that also have nice big rounds, and so we can combine also a little bit of that for people that want to see other rivers besides the ones that we offer too. And we have our own airstrip. So people that want to go for a shorter period of time and not taking the full week, they can just go for a day or two. We have a cabin that holds 8 guests also. That so they can stay from one day to the other and just get a small plane, comes pick us up, drop them on whatever. So yeah, when I was there doing the scouting, and then I found the place, and then I contact the owner, and then he say, "Hey, I'm interested on you doing some more scouting and tell me about it." And then I was like, "Wow, this is Fantasyland. What can I do?" And I call him back and say, like, "Let's work together." And then after a few reunions or meetings, he said, "Yes, I trust you." So we got a deal for several years, and I'm super anxious, man.
Oh,
I
dude,
can't.
I would be too. That's so fucking cool, man. But dude, that's about all I got for you today, man. I know I gotta get to doing some editing, man. But dude, like, thank you so much for coming on, man. I'm definitely gonna have you on again one time, man. Once the
Oh,
season gets ramped
anytime.
up. And dude, like,
I would
I
love to.
can't
Sorry,
I
you go ahead.
can't wait to see how you guys do with that this season, dude. Keep me updated on how you do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to do the same, to give you guys an update and tell you a little bit more. I hope that I I will be able to show you that it is what we are talking about and nothing less. So thanks again for the opportunity, and then whatever you guys need, I'm always open to give you the information. If I'm not the right guy for whoever is asking to do any type of excursion, I will show you guys the right man to do it. And I'm always a guy that think that collaboration is the way to make this business, our industry, better. So I will
100%.
be happy to give the advice that need to be done the right way.
That was our episode. Awesome guy, man. I mean, super, super cool. We had a little technical difficulty. He was actually in Brazil, um, doing some stuff for work. So that was pretty cool. Awesome of him to sit down and have a conversation with us while he was on a work trip. But super cool episode at that. Um, if you liked this episode, subscribe on the YouTube. It will come up at the end of this. So you can subscribe over there on the left. Leave a review on iTunes or Apple Podcast. follow on Spotify. All the reviews and subscribes mean more than you know. And once again, I appreciate you guys for listening. I'll see y'all in September.